Hi guys, it's Wendy from Ask the Landlady, and here I am talking about timeshare. And today I'm going to talk about this terminology that's coming about in timeshare called banked leisure, which, as you know, with everything with the timeshare industry, is a lie. And this is how they're rebranding timeshare for 2026 with this banked leisure scheme. So I've been watching, this timeshare marketing for years, and every few years the industry comes up with some new phrase, some new branding, something that they say is going to revolutionize how we do our vacationing. And so this year's is banked leisure. And you may have seen it in some of the ARDA publications and their timeshare, your own timeshare advertising, or even just mainstream travel media out there. And I have to give it credit. It is clever, speaks directly to the financial uncertainty that we're living in now, that we're feeling about inflation and rates and economic uncertainty and travel costs going up, and Spirit just went under. So, like, where are we going to get cheap airlines? So today, let's just break it down, talk about what bank leisure is, why it's marketing has turned so sophisticated here, and what our actual reality is. So let's get to it. Concept of banked leisure works like this. The industry's trade association is promoting this model of vacation ownership as a form of, I guess, financial hedging. The idea is that when you buy a timeshare or when you prepay for your vacation time, you're locking in vacation costs today and you're protecting yourself against what's going to happen to prices in the future. So the pitch goes, travel inflation is real, okay? The hotel prices are unpredictable. Airline prices are volatile, especially with fuel prices and uncertainty there. But your timeshare week is already paid for. Your vacation is banked. You've hedged, you smart consumer. You've hedged against all that uncertainty. This is what that timeshare person is going to tell you in that high-pitched timeshare presentation, is that you're going to be the smart one. You're going to bank this in. You're going to hold on to it. You're going to hedge against inflation and all those uncertainty. And it's smart because, who doesn't want to bargain, right? Who doesn't want to pay today's prices and 10 years from now be like, haha, I paid this for it and you paid that. Wow, I am so smart. So let's walk through this argument carefully, because the reality is actually much different. So the claim one is that you're hedging against the travel inflation. So in theory, yes, if you pay $23,000 today for that 20 years worth of timeshare weeks and the vacation prices double over that period, then you've captured value, right? That's what they're going to tell you. They're going to say, oh, I guarantee you come in here 10 years from now, that's not going to be 23,000, it's going to be 33,000, 43,000, whatever. But here's the reality. Your maintenance fees are not fixed, okay? So if your maintenance fees are $1,000 this year, well, I can guarantee you next year they're going to go up. What we found out when we did the research for last year is they went up by 17.5%. Inflation didn't go up by 17.5%. You didn't get a vote on that. They tell you, you get it in the mail and you're like, oh, and you have no recourse. You have to pay whatever that is. That cost is going to go up. And in most cases, it's going to go up higher than inflation every single time. So what does that tell you? The cost of your vacation is not locked in. You are not hedging against anything. Only your form of payment, where that increase comes, just comes in a different form, right? So that's the number one myth of all of this. I could probably just stop there. Boo. Why would you do that? Why would you even think that was a great phrase? But anyway, another claim they make is you can't lose it. It's already paid for. You've paid for your vacation. You could never lose that. It's emotionally true, but financially misleading, okay? Money you've already spent on it is a sunk cost, okay? Whether you even use it or not, that money is gone. They don't care if you use it. In fact, they're banking on the thing that you probably won't be able to use it, especially if you're in a vacation club and you have to spend that weird system of calling at 9 a.m. on a Monday morning trying to get my vacation, and no, try next week, and then going through the whole summer and never getting your week's vacation that you were promised verbally, not in writing, by a timeshare salesperson that you would be able to get, right? So there's no benefit there in just saying you can't lose it. Maybe you want to lose it. Maybe you want to be unloaded from this burden, because actually the fact that you have prepaid for it is like playing a psychological mind game with you. It becomes a trap and it leads to poor decision making. Suddenly you're doing anything you can to get that vacation, buying more points so you can do it, because they might just say, well, you just didn't have enough points, buy more and then we can guarantee it. It's just going to lead to worse and worse decision making when you fall into that psychological trap of, don't worry, you can't lose this vacation. In some cases, it might be better to walk away, right? You may want to exit that. Tell me in the comments, do you want out right now? Let me know. Would love to know who's out there still stuck trying to get out, because I have a book on that, Never Buy Timeshare, where I talk about some of your options, and we can certainly keep through and go back through my videos. I have several where I've talked about them as well. So, because basically 80% of owners have fully paid off their timeshare purchase, right? Where maybe even if they financed it up front, and they're now mainly covering their maintenance fee. But that maintenance fee is not predictable, and it's not the same as affordable and reasonable, because that fee can go up whatever, 15%, 17.5%. That's not affordable. That's not predictable. That's not staying the same. That's not today's dollars, right? They're still getting those dollars from you. So here's what is actually kind of interesting about this whole rebranding with banked leisure. It tells us exactly where the industry is feeling vulnerable. For decades, the timeshare pitch was about ownership. You're buying real estate, an investment, a deed with your name on it, right? Still not good. But it didn't work when people started to look into that and said that this timeshare was getting a bad name. So they rebranded. Remember, I've talked about this before, vacation clubs and points, flexibility, access to thousands of destinations. Marriott has their Abound program. You can go anywhere in the world. That's what they started marketing to us. And so now people are catching on to points, right? So people are getting mad about that, and the chatter's out there. I want out. I paid too much. I want to walk away. So now it's about financial prudence and financial hedging against the industry, against the vacation industry, because they know you're worried about your money. They know people coming in are saying, I don't want to buy this. I can't afford $23,000. But then when they say, you can, if you're going to vacation and you want a vacation, versus paying $33,000 and $43,000, they're going to come about it in this financial insecure time with that type of terminology and talk about banking your leisure, having your vacation already paid for, right? We know that's a lie, because your maintenance fees are not paid for. You pay for them every year, and they go up and up and up. And let's not even talk about special assessments. You have a beach property, the beach is eroding. Let's do a special assessment on everybody for $3,000 to pay for that. And you have no recourse on those things. And those things are definitely going to impact that bottom line that we're not prepared for. We definitely didn't hedge against your vacation on that. Instead of buying the timeshare, take your money, invest it, decide where you want to go, and pay for it in today's dollars. You're still going to come out ahead for sure. If you want to hedge against travel, there's a more effective way to do that. That's take that $23,000 and put it on an index fund, which is tied to the market, right? You're gonna, that's what you need to do. Invest that money versus just giving it to somebody else and hoping and praying that it'll still be there, still be able to be used, and your maintenance fees aren't going to climb to the point where you can't afford them anymore, or where it becomes a vacation too expensive. You might as well book something else, right? So banked leisure, vacation ownership, points club, flexible access programs, they're all the same product. They're all the same product that you should never buy. It's not worth it, okay? So I hope you found something valuable there. Have you heard of this banked leisure term? Have you thought about this whole concept of, buy now, and you'll save money? I'd love to hear from you. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment, and I hope you're having great travels out there.